Omni Lucid presents.
Hey everyone, welcome to Omni Lucid Media. It has been a little while. Things have been kind of hectic here, so we haven't had any videos out for a few weeks, maybe even a month now. It's been a little bit, so I do apologize for that, but I'm going to do my best to try and get these a little more, coming out a little more regularly again. Might be every other week instead of the every week like we were doing. All just depends on what's going on and as I have time to actually sit down and record some of this stuff. But today's video is the top 5 games of 2021. Only 5 this year. Last year we did the top 10 because, again, I just haven't had as much time to play games as I would like. I have played, I believe, about 9 to 10 games exactly, and I'd like to, I want to make sure that the games that I am recommending, that, it's not just, hey, these are the top 10 because these are the only games that I played, that they actually, that I like them and that they were fun. I'm just looking down here because I'm trying to count real quick. Okay, so it's actually only been 8 games that I have played that are 2021 games this year. I have been getting a lot of older games lately, and I might do a video on that as well, as far as maybe doing my top 10 games as of right now type of thing, where some of those might be included. But today we're just doing top 5 of 2021. Also, that I do have some games that I have not yet played. I'll go over those at the end as well. So, maybe your favorite won't be on there. Maybe that's just because I haven't had a chance to play it yet, even if it is on my shelves behind me there. But again, I will mention those. So, we'll dive right in. So, number 5 for 2021 is Overboss. So Overboss is the next step in line of the Boss Monster franchise. If you haven't played any Boss Monster games, they're good fun. I really enjoy them. They're a nice, quick little game if you enjoy that style. But Overboss is the next step up, which this is a tile laying game. We do have a video on this if you want to look and see a little bit more gameplay and how the game works and plays in our actual review. But this one was fun. It's a game that I've played a handful of times. It's fun every time. Once you got it down and everything's all sorted and all that, it's a pretty quick game as well. And it is a 1 to 5 player, so you can play it solo as well, so that's also pretty nice. Yeah, Overboss, that gets my number 5 spot. And I do want to say, so some of these games, I'll kind of maybe explain why they are where they are, but some of the stuff that has to do with this, just how many times that I've actually played it, because I've obviously wanted to go back and play it more. That also depends on people wanting to play the game with me as well, and luckily Overboss is one of those games. So Overboss, I'm going to keep calling it Boss Monster. Overboss is my number 5 top games of 2021. Next game, and this is probably not quite my most recent purchase out of a store. This was a game that I played it once at a convention. It was a Gen Con remote. I can't remember what they were calling it, but remote Gen Con thing at my local game store, and I went, and it was awesome. I had a great time. They only had a few games that they were demoing. This was one of them out of I think I played like 5 games that day, and they were all new games to me. And this was the one that, as soon as I played it, I instantly was just like, I have to have that. I have to have that game. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. It was the only game that I played twice while I was there. So it was the one that, as I was leaving, I walked up to the front of the store and just said, hey, do you got this? Sure enough, they did, and I bought it on the spot. That game is Dice Miner. Now, I have the deluxe version, so the box is a little bit bigger. It also comes with like the little mountain It's like a plastic mountain insert thing that the normal game is just cardboard. Oh, there we go. It's sitting right on top. So this one has the actual plastic version instead of the cardboard one. So a little bit of an upgrade. It also has a dice rolling cup. Not that I really needed this. I don't remember. I think it also came with maybe some extra cards. I can't remember. This one we have not done a video on yet, so you'll have to forgive me on that. I will do one for sure, obviously, since it's number 4. But it's a lot of fun. That's I don't. As I'm sitting here trying to get this in here and stumbling a little bit with my words. There we go. It's a lot of fun dice drafting game. It's got some neat little mechanics as to how things work, kind of deciding which way to go with things. Didn't hurt any that my first game I just blew it out of the park. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I beat everyone else by a ton. But again, a lot of fun, great game. Unique with the little mountain mechanic as you're picking things, yeah. And this one I believe is 2 to 5. That one I can't remember off the top of my head. And this one doesn't have it on the box because it's the deluxe version. But again, I will do a video on this one once I find time, and actually probably have to get Ashley to come down here and sit and play this one with me. She is one of the people that I have not got to play this yet, but every time I have played it, everyone that has, they always really enjoy it. Same with me. I enjoy it every time. So that gets my number 4 spot. Okay, moving right along. Next up, now this was a game that we did lots of coverage on. Good friend of mine, really fun game. The most recent game, well, not most recent because me and Ashley just played some games today, but just played this one at Christmas. It was my first time getting into my family. It was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun. They enjoyed it. I always enjoy it. But go ahead and bring this up without further ado, is On the Rocks. So On the Rocks by Pentree Games. Just a lot of fun with marble drafting, mixing drinks. If I was going to do the categories, I would also say this is definitely my top game of 2021 as far as production value. The work that Mike and Christina put into this it's just amazing. It really came out awesome, even down to the little details. I said in the other video when we did the review, I love that the player boards look like bar menus, and they did some last minute changes during production where even the marbles, they changed from regular marbles to the ones that are with the game that look like they have little bubbles in them, so they even look a little bit more like liquid components. But yeah, just everything about this game I really love. I wish that I could get it to the table more often. That is the only reason why this did not take probably my number 1, maybe 2 spot. I don't know. The top 3, I had to really sit down and think about it. But again, On the Rocks, you can play solo. The solo it's a pretty good solo. I mean, it's difficult enough. You don't win all the time. Keeps you guessing. I prefer it with more people, which is probably one of the reasons why I don't get at the table as much. With COVID and the pandemic and all that, it's basically just me and Ashley. And we're always trying out new games and that, so when we have a chance we get it back to the table. Yeah, On the Rocks definitely gets my number 3. It was a hard pick between the top 3 games for the year. Like I said, I was going back and forth as to where this should fall. It was definitely all 3 of these the top 3 were contenders for number 1 to I was really going around trying to figure out which way to go with it. But yeah, like I said, great components, great game. Gets my number 3 spot, On the Rocks by Pentree Games. Alright, next up, and this one, I have a feeling this is probably Brian's number 1 for the year. And again, went back and forth, but in the end, I decided to make this my number 2. I've been having a lot of fun with it. This one I have been playing mostly solo. I have played a few times with other people, and it's in all honesty, it's just as fun just playing myself and just doing the two-hand style of play. But it's also a lot of fun with other people too. So this one is Unsettled by Orange Nebula. This game, Orange Nebula went through so much work to get this game to people. If you read the updates and you see how much work they had to put into this to get this game to everyone, they actually lost money on it, and it is an amazing game. I love this game. I love it. It's in my videos that I did on it. If you haven't checked that out, you can see I've even turned it into my own little Star Trek exploratory game. It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of story in there. There's elements where I've played through, and I don't even know how many times I played through Zeron, one of the planets, because I just want to know more about what is happening on this planet, and that's why it's so fun. The game makes me just want to come back for more and more and more. I'm keeping myself. I'm sure everyone's like, oh, you could just read the cards and see, but it's more fun when you're playing it and things are happening and chaos is happening on the board, because hey, I can find out about these, creatures and things and memories and discoveries and all this other stuff. But it's a lot more fun to find out about it when there's some stress involved and you might die and you might just pass out from exhaustion and everything else. So Unsettled gets number 2. On top of that, Unsettled, as far as kind of ranking these games for giving, like I said, they being all contenders for number 1, this would get my number 1 for I guess box design and layout, because it is so simple to set up. I hope more games in the future use their framework and all that as an example, as much as they can. It's not going to work for every game, but for theirs, it works great. It's one of those games that I honestly believe that if it didn't have their framework that they have in there, I probably wouldn't have played it as much, just because the setup would take longer and it would slow me down from when I've just been busy and I don't have time to do that with a lot of these other games. That I love playing. I love some of these other games, but there's a lot of times where I'll sit down and say, hey, I just don't have enough time to set this up and tear it down and get through a whole play, because it's also, an hour, 2 hour long game. And with Unsettled, the setup and teardown is so quick thanks to that framework system. So I really, really love that. I really enjoy it. It's one of those, I've seen a lot of awesome paint and minis. I say this with a lot of miniature games, but it makes me want to paint more, because even adding those extra little touches to the explorers, I think, can make it even cooler to see with them moving around on the board. But that's Unsettled, which is number 2 on my top 5. All right. If you haven't played it yet, or you don't have it, highly suggest checking it out. I know they were offering it at a lot of the cons lately. I don't know if you can find it other places, but if you have a chance to get it, definitely do. And I think they even mentioned that they're going to be running their next Kickstarter later this year, which is technically for them to get more planets out. But as far as I know, they're also going to do a second printing of the base game, so I think you can still get everything that was in the first one. A side note to that one too, this is the first game that me and Brian both backed, and I originally was just like, well, if you're gonna get it, I don't need to get it as well. No reason for us to both have the same games. We typically try not to do that because we'll just play the game when we hang out and do one of our game days or something. But luckily, something about this told me I was going to want a copy of my own, and I'm so happy I listened to myself, because it's been a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And I think if it was only Brian's copy, I've only had a chance to play with Brian twice, or 2 games, one game night. But yeah, if that was the only time I got to play this, I think I'd be missing and wanting to play more. So I'm happy I got my own of that. But that is number 2. So And some of you, depending how closely you watch my videos in the past, you may already notice that this one is missing from the background, depending how keen-eyed you are. This was a game that came out fairly early in 2021, if I remember right. And this is a game, the reason it got number one is because it is the game that me and Ashley specifically have played probably more than any other game this year. She loves it. I also obviously love it, and the fact that we play it all the time, that's what in the end it boosted it, and it got it to that top spot. So number one for my games of 2021 is Canvas. Canvas is by Road to Infamy Games. Those guys, they have a lot of great games. I have basically their entire collection except for one or two games. One because I just haven't taken the time to get it, which I really should. And the other one just didn't really look like it was for me. But pretty much everything else that they got, I've picked up. And this one, I don't know what to all say about it. Again, we've done a review on this. You can definitely go check that out if you want to see the full gameplay and everything. But this is the game that Ashley mentions to everyone that comes over. She says, "Hey, do you want to try out this really cool game? I really love it. It's really colorful. I think you'll love it." So we played it so much. We still play it a lot. And they do have the expansion coming out for this. I've been getting some notifications. I'm really excited for when that comes, which is called Reflections. So Canvas Reflections is coming out soon, so we're both excited to play that. It has the cool little feature where it can hang on the wall. That's where you guys may have noticed normally it's hanging up right up in that little space up there, because hey, if you can hang the game on the wall, why not? But yeah, it's a great game. It's a new concept to me with the layering the clear cards on top of each other. I enjoy the paintings that get made. I love the names, the little weird names that come out, and how many times they actually make sense. Also, if you want to see more kind of about this, I also did an interview with the guys from Road to Infamy, and Jeff and Andrew. They very cool guys as well. We also did the review for their new game that's coming out whenever that gets done, which is the Don't Go In There, the haunted house game. So they're some very cool guys. We talked a little bit about Canvas in that interview. That's why I mentioned it, if you want to go and kind of hear some of the behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, I just really enjoy this game. It's small. They're typically quicker games, and it's just very accessible. It's easy to get to the table. It's easy to teach new players. It is up to 5 players. It also has a solo, I believe. Yeah, has the solo mode. I've never. I can't remember if I've played the solo. I need to look at that again. I think I have, but I can't remember. But either way, I don't know what else I can say about it. Great game. It gets my number one for the games of 2021. So again, these are all my opinion. Y'all can say yay or nay if you agree with me or not. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think. And I was going to bring up, just so you guys can hear some of the other ones. So those were obviously my top 5. Some of the other 2021 games that I have played. Mariana Trench, which was... it's a deep-sea diving exploratory game. You go down, you get research points. It's a 2-player game. It's alright, very colorful. It's one that Ashley didn't really care for as much, so I don't know how much it'll get to the table. There is a solo mode, so I'm going to try that out. I will do a review on it, just so everybody else can see it. I personally like that it's a quick game. It's definitely a nice filler game that you can just pull out, bust out real quick, and just, throw down, play a few games, and, be done and move on to something else if that's what you want to do. The other game is Velatum. Velatum is a abstract strategy game, one of those kind of chess-like games, kind of like Drakkar, kind of like Nefertafel, that type of stuff. I did get that one. I haven't printed it out yet because They were doing everything print and play wise. They only did a handful of printed games, and I didn't want to, didn't really have the money at the time to spend for the full everything. Plus, I have the 3D printer. I can make this all on my own, so it's just easier. But I haven't printed those pieces out yet because I haven't had a chance to make a box for it. I'm sure I could make one of these empty boxes of expansions that I got over there work for it, but I want to do it justice and give it its own box. But yeah, Velatim, great game. I really love that game. That would probably be, if I had a number 6, that would probably be my number 6. That one was really close as well. And last but not least is Unsurmountable by Button Shy Game. Now that's a solo play game. That one I just started playing earlier this week. I wanted to get one more game in, just to have something to weigh these other games against, and that was it. And tried it out again. Super quick game, 15 minutes or less. It's only solo. I've played it, I don't even know how many times now. Less than 10, but more than 5. And I have yet to beat it. It's definitely got a little. It's a little tough. And that's good because it's a one-player game. It's one of those that if I play it and I beat it right out of the gate, then why am I going to keep playing it? Because there's not a lot to it. So it's nice that there's a little bit of a challenge. It's a little pocket. There we go. Sorry, I think they call it a wallet game. So real small. I mean, fits easily in your pocket. Like I said, wallet size. You can take it with you anywhere, which is nice. Is another perk that definitely made me want to back it. So those were the other games of 2021 that I've actually played. Now you might be seeing some games on the back, like I said, that are from 2021 that were not mentioned. And that's because I simply have not had time to play them yet. Some of those games are, as you can see up on the back there, is Destinies. Destinies I've heard great things about. Did come out in 2021. I haven't had a chance to play. Looking forward to it. Sounds awesome. Can't wait to get it to the table. I just haven't yet, so that obviously takes it out of the running. Another big title that I've seen on a few other people's top 5s and 10s and top whatevers for 2021 was Ankh. I have Ankh. It's down. You can't see it. It's out of frame. But I got the whole all-in everything. Again, I just haven't had a chance to get it to the table. It's a big game. I need to sit down and learn it. And again, it's usually me and Ashley. I think I'm guessing it's going to probably be better at 3 or 4. So trying to hold out till I have a little bit bigger group. Maybe when Brian and Jordan are out here again, we can get that one up there. Another game is X-Men United. I have not played any of these. I didn't play Marvel United, and I haven't played X-Men United yet, but I do have the base game over there. That one I might honestly just wait until the other expansions come. That's another one I didn't go quite all in, but I got a lot of it. And I want to get cable out there, so maybe once the rest of them get out here, that'll kind of push me to play it. And then there's also Whirling Witchcraft and 10 over there, and then Whirling Witchcraft. You can't see, it's out of frame. By AEG. And 10 I think I've seen on a few people's lists as well. Again, I just haven't had a chance to play them, but there are a few 2021 games in my collection. Some of them I have played, some of them I haven't. But not to make this any longer than it needs to, those, like I said, those are the top 5 of the games for 2021. If you haven't played any of those or you want to know more about them, feel free to ask. Go check out the videos. The only one that I haven't done a video on yet is Dice Miner, which I definitely want to get up on the channel, and I will at some point. But just a real quick recap. So number 5 was Overboss, number 4 was Dice Miner, number 3 was On the Rocks, number 2 was Unsettled, and number 1 was Canvas. So those are the top 5. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think of any of the games that I haven't played yet. Give me a recommendation of what you think I should play next, maybe. That would be great, because like I said, it's just a matter of sitting down and finding the time to actually play these things. They'll all get played eventually, but it is how it is. Alright, You guys all have a good one, and I will see you next time.